Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Ms. Kanwaljeet Kaur Soni, Senior Fraud Investigator and Cyber Forensic Security Consultant with over 15 years of experience working in corporate fraud investigation, investigations of internal and external frauds, and AML-KYC CFT consulting. Ms. Kanwaljeet is a fellow chartered accountant, certified fraud examiner, CII, N.C.F.M Qualified, active member of PhD Chamber of Commerce, Corporate Affairs Committee, and Managing Director of Kapp Edge Solutions. We welcome you to this expert interview series, ma'am, and hope you'll have a good time with us.
Thank you. Thanks, Kanna. Full of excitement and a lot of hard work, because when you talk about other work like audit, etc., you still have a checklist which you can refer to. You can use that for your client's work, but when it comes to investigation, you have to start from scratch for every single case. So I would say this is a profile full of excitement, full of imagination, using your skill. I love every part of it. A lot of excitement. Well, from the very beginning, I never liked things which are monotonous or something which is checklist driven. I always like things in my both personal as well as professional life, something where I can use my skill set, my imagination, and then I can put my mind on it. So that's what attracts me toward this field. Secondly, if you look at the current trend globally, corporate frauds, especially cyber frauds, are absolutely increasing. So another thought behind that if I can support community in any manner by getting into this profession, that is another thought which got me to this profession. A couple of things are confidential.
Sure.
However, we do use a lot of techniques. One of them is called interview technique, which is a very, very important technique to use in investigation.
Okay.
When we take interviews in fraud investigation, it is not just about papers or what numbers say. It is more about understanding the non-verbal communication. How a person is talking. What is the body language of a person? Is that person deceptive? Can we trust this version of information? So that is one of the very, very important tools which we use for our investigation, called interviewing technique.
Okay.
Apart from that, the cyber investigation techniques are very, very important, because most of the frauds happens via computers these days. So it is important that we use the technique in our favor to do investigation, which includes data analytics, using the artificial intelligence, using the software which can help us creating a trend of frauds, and of course any other cyber tools. So these are two important techniques. Apart from that, there are various other methods which we use case to case. Yes, you're right. So when it comes to investigation, it is not an easy profile. So let me be very candid about it. And there are a lot of areas and aspects which carries a lot of risk. But risk to Spider-Man ko bhi lena padta hai. So we also take risks.
Yes.
And one that we always try to use our investigative technique within the legal boundaries. So that is very, very important, that each time we do investigation, we should be very, very clear about the law. Law of the land. Not just in the country where we are, but in every single country where we enter for investigation. That is one of the very, very important things to keep in mind, that do not ever cross the legal boundary. Second, take a calculated risk. So you should always know up to what extent you can take a risk. What is the risk appetite, and accordingly take a risk. So yes, this profession has its own risks, but we always take a calculated risk. We try to. Correct. So the core of investigative profile is that we have to maintain the confidentiality, and there could be lot of investigation projects which may be discreet in nature. So it is important for us to preserve the information of our client in a manner that it will never reaches to unauthorized users. So when it comes to handling the document, we have a very limited set of people in our organization who can access to the file, and we keep it encrypted, password protected, so that information is not misused. Also, at any point of time, if that information has to be produced in court of law, we need to really prove that point again in court, whether the information is tempered or how did we preserve it. So it's very, very important to preserve the information in a right manner, so that one, that the information is not leaked. Secondly, if it is presented in the court of law, court will not reject it on the ground that it is not authentic. Sure. So most of the frauds we see these days globally, not just in India, but most of the frauds are using cyber techniques. Even if we talk about any kind of fraud related to corporates, we see the cyber threat. We talk about banking fraud, insurance fraud, corporate fraud. The digital tools have been used. So the hackers or fraudsters are using more and more cyber techniques to do fraud. So one of the latest trends we have seen that people are doing fraud remotely. So gone are the days when you had to access somebody's device to do a fraud. Most of the frauds we see are actually happening remotely. Secondly, privacy intrusion is another problem which we see in both personal as well as professional cases, where somebody remotely is trying to intrude in the privacy to get access to the private and confidential information. So for an individual, the target could be your KYC detail or personal banking detail, etc. For corporate, it could be the private and sensitive information for a company. And social engineering is a technique which is absolutely widely used. A very layman term, if I use it for social engineering, is that I meet you in any manner socially. It could be via social networking platform or maybe in a bus or a train, anywhere. And I become your friend, try to get your information from you about yourself or your company. Both ways it is a social. Phishing attacks, farming, social engineering, these trends are really, really high. So my advice would be that one, that you have to have a lot of patience, because this is a field where you would not get result just like that. So be patient, have a strong determination, and at any point of time, do not lose the confidence. Doesn't matter you are reaching to the desired point at that particular time or not, but you will certainly reach. So please have a lot of patience and strong determination. I always say fraud will never go out of fashion. So if you invest today, if you invest rightly, this is the profession which will always be in demand. The fraud will never go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So is the demand for the fraud profession. So invest in that. So from very beginning, I've lived by one line that do not let the world tell you what you can do, what you cannot do. Decide your own worth. Decide yourself what you can do, what you're capable of. So don't try to copy anyone. Everybody has a different journey, different struggle. Don't get impressed by somebody's social post and try to copy it. Make your own journey, and when you don't copy, be original, you do the best. So that's something which I always believe in. So be original, be yourself.
That makes so much sense. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was an amazing interview, and I'm sure that our viewers will enjoy and understand what you have told about this particular career choice. And it will be great if people get some inspiration and some motivation to choose this career field after watching this video. So thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, ma'am.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.